All right, yin practice for the upper body. Props, I have 2 blocks, a blanket, a strap, and a large bolster. If you've got them, great. If you don't, improvise, do the best you can, as always. I'll do the same. We're gonna start seated, cross legs. So palms face up in your lap. You can cross your shins, you can sit on your knees, sit on one of your props. This is your practice. I'm gonna give you lots of suggestions, options to take. You take them or not, it's always up to you. So palms face up to receive some energy. Move your shoulders back, so your shoulders are over your hips. Chin is tucked slightly so the back of the neck is long. Close your eyes, or if you would rather, shift your gaze down toward the tops of your cheeks. And then just start to notice your breath. Turning your attention in. Maybe first just starting to narrow it down onto your mat. And then moving a little deeper inside of your body. Take 3 cleansing breaths. Inhaling through the nose, filling up all the way, whole capacity of the lungs. Pause, and then empty it out. Let it go. Do that again. Breathe in, slow and steady, fill up and hold. And then open the mouth, sigh it out. Last time, breathe in, fill up, hold at the top, and then exhale to empty, all the breath comes out. Now, from the next breath forward, use only the nose. In and out. Settling your attention maybe in the back of the throat, just watching the breath pass as it moves in and then moves back out. Notice the sensation that accompanies the breath, especially the inhale. Notice what moves, what stretches as you draw the breath in, and then what relaxes, what softens as you let the breath out. Make the breath bigger. Maybe you count to 4 or 5 as you inhale, holding for just a moment at the top. And then as you exhale, make sure the exhale is a 4 or 5 count to match. Observe the thoughts. Just watch. As you think of something, just notice if it's a thought, a judgment. Obviously it's a thought. If it's a judgment, a memory, a plan, just give it a broad category and then move on, let it pass. Just like you're watching clouds pass in the sky, you notice one cloud, it passes, and then maybe another cloud comes right away, or maybe there's a big expanse of wide open blue space before the next cloud comes. And just notice. Cultivating your awareness of the silent observer. The piece of you that doesn't change. The part of you that transcends the thoughts, above the emotions. Just observe those processes. The next time you breathe in, bring the arms down by your hips and then continue your inhale to reach the arms over your head. You can blink the eyes open. And then interlace the fingers, flip the hands toward the ceiling, toward the sky, and then press the hands up, stretch through the armpits, move the arms back, feel the shoulders stretch. Keep the core engaged to protect the low back. Keep breathing, keep reaching. Take one more breath in, and then as you breathe out, bend your elbows to bring the hands behind the neck, and then pull up on the back of the skull to traction a little bit. Wide open elbows as you inhale, and then as you exhale, bring the elbows together and then use the weight of the arms to deepen your neck stretch as you tuck the chin to the chest. You're not pushing on the head. It's only the weight of the arms that deepen here. So keep breathing, keep watching. The breath, the sensation. And then from here, on your inhale, open the elbows wide. Use your exhale to bring the neck back up. And then reach the arms back up, straight. Flip the hands, take an inhale. As you exhale, open the arms wide. Arms fall down by the hips, good. And now from here, left ear to the left shoulder, left fingers come on top of the right ear. Lean to the left. Right arm can reach long or not. Breathing into the right shoulder, the front of the right chest. As you inhale, feel the air come in, the possibility, the benevolence, all of the good qualities on the inhale, amplify that. And then as you exhale, let go of tension, stress, fatigue, worry, all of the things you don't need to hold on to anymore. Take one more breath in. As you breathe out, left fingers move to your left temple to press the head back to center. Let your left arm fall down and then notice maybe some space on the right side of the neck, a little longer, a little more length, obviously. And then right ear to the right shoulder. Wrap your right arm around. Maybe the fingers rest just above the head. Use the arm to deepen. Left arm can reach long. Fingers press or float. Take one more full round. And then an inhale, you'll bring the right arm down to the right temple, press the head back up. Now some length on both sides, maybe they match. Use your inhale to reach the arms over your head, and then use your exhale to lean to the right. Soften your right elbow as you land, and left arm reaches over the shoulder. Stretch, keep the left hip heavy. Use your inhale to come back to center. Exhale, lean to the left, right arm reaches. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right arm rests. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, left arm rests. Inhale, back up. Last time each way to the right. Maybe hold here. Soften your elbow, or you can straighten the arm, you choose, but keep the left hip heavy. Really reach with the fingers. Press with the rib cage, a C shape with that whole left side. And then an inhale, come back up. Use your exhale to lean left. Soften the elbow or not, you choose. But keep the right hip heavy. Move the right shoulder back. Stretch and reach with the right arm. Take one more inhale. Stay for your exhale. And then the next breath in will lift back up. Palms touch. And then bring the hands into the heart. Pause here. Chin to the chest. Look at the fingers, or maybe you shut the eyes. Set your intention for your practice. Your sankalpa, your resolve. Your intention is what makes this work that you're going to do different than anything else. If the eyes are closed, blink them open. Moving over the shins onto your hands and knees. A tabletop pose, so the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. If you want to pad the knees, put a blanket under the knees for a little more cushion. If the wrists feel tight or pinchy here, you can roll up the front of the mat, let the fingers rest on the mat, and then the wrists are, you have a little more space. The heels of the hands press. Some options. You always have options. So from here, pull the navel in, navel pulling in to protect the low back. Now keep that core engagement. As you inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, lift the chin, open the throat, maybe look up. And then as you exhale, round the back, push the floor away, let the head be heavy. Keep moving that way with the breath. As you inhale, arch open, lift and fill up. As you exhale, round. Keep going like that. If you want to bring the feet in, get a little stretch in the arches. As you inhale, tuck the toes. And then as you exhale, untuck, press the tops of the feet down. Maybe 3 more rounds. Moving energy from the tailbone toward the crown of the head. Take one more round. Cat-cow flow. Now from here, back to neutral. We're going to take a supported hero's pose. So grab your blocks, 2 blocks or 1 block, whatever works best for you. Put them long ways so your sitting bones have a little more surface area to land on. And supported heroes looks like this from the side. So the tops of the feet are pressing, hips, shoulders, ears line up so the spine is straight. You're engaging the core to protect the low back again, palms face up. You can close the eyes or you can keep the eyes open, you choose. I'm going to turn and face you so you can see our eagle wrap that we're going to take on the arms. So from here, arms reach out to the sides. Take an inhale like you're pushing the opposite walls away from you, and then use your exhale to bring the right elbow underneath. Elbows locked together in front of the shoulders. Fingers point up and spread. And then make some space between your chest and your arms, so moving the forearms away from your face. If that link up isn't available in your body, you're going to take your right hand underneath your left elbow and then just draw your left arm across, looking for a stretch through this shoulder. So wherever you are, you're breathing. I'm going to set my timer here so we're the same hold on each side. Keep squeezing the elbows. So 90 seconds is the magic number here in our yin practice. It takes 90 seconds for the connective tissue to undergo the chemical changes that make it stronger and stretchier. So we find a place in the body that's tense, like the space between the shoulders. We create that tension with these poses, a little bit of tension, so you feel it. And then we hold and we breathe. And that's the practice. Paying attention to everything that happens along the way. Watching the breath. If the thoughts come back, which they will, that's the brain's job, is to think. Just watch, just notice. One thought passes, maybe another thought comes right along, or maybe there's some space. Take maybe 3 more breaths here. Last breath in. As you breathe out, release your eagle wrap, shake out your arms, and then float them up as you inhale. Your left hand is going to take your right wrist, pull your right arm up toward the sky, and then lean to the left. Just another side stretch, a different perspective. Keep the shoulders square, so don't let this right shoulder hug way over. Keep the right shoulder back. And then an inhale, center. Exhale, right hand takes the left arm, go up, and then lean right. Squeeze the wrist a little tighter to stretch that arm a little longer. Keep moving the shoulder back. The chest is open. That left hip is heavy. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale to center. Exhale, push opposite walls away. Take 1 more breath in, and then as you breathe out, the left elbow goes under. Lift the elbows high. Press the forearms away from the face. Spread the fingers. And breathe here. If the shoulders feel like they're hugging the ears, try to slide them down so that they're not earrings. Space and length in the neck, the length and the space you created with that neck stretch. Keep it. And come back to the breath. If you find yourself wrapped up in a specific thought, plans, memories, bring yourself back, 1 breath at a time. This whole practice unfolds just that way, 1 breath at a time. Three more breaths, all the way in. All the way out. Breathe in and breathe out. Last inhale. Use your exhale to let your arms unwrap, give them a shake. Now we will put the shoulders by the ears, shrug them, and then move them back. Do that twice more, shrug. And then go the other way, so forward with the shoulders, kind of a weird movement, but just some movement nonetheless. Okay, now supported hero. Interlace your hands and then just start to make figure eights with your knuckles, like you're drawing on the space in front of you. Stretching the wrists. No, now, trace your figure eights the opposite way. You have to pay attention. Keep the elbows together, the forearms together, just paying attention to the wrists. And now pause. Now release that and then bring the backs of the hands together. Press the backs of the hands together and then let the elbows drop. Breathe here. All right, that's kind of a little preview of what's to come. We're going to do more wrist stuff. So come off of your blocks, back into your fours, into your tabletop. Just set your blocks aside again if you want to prop your knees or your wrists. Well, don't prop your wrists. We're going to work on the wrists, so no supporting the wrists. Keep them flat. Now from here, remember those cat-cows we did earlier? You're going to turn your fingers back toward your knees and then take some cat-cows like that. As you inhale, maybe you go right into the foot stretch, arch, open, fill up. And then as you exhale, tops of the feet down, round, push the floor away. Take that 4 more times. As you inhale, maybe you soften the elbows, certainly a different experience. As you exhale, round, straighten. Inhale. Exhale. Twice more. Keep pressing the knuckles down, even the thumbs. My thumbs want to bend here. Try not to let the thumbs bend. All right. Now, another thing with the wrists. You're going to keep the fingers pointing toward you, but turn the backs of the hands over onto the mat. Now you will soften the elbows here quite a bit. Bend your fingers to make these sad little fists. And then if you want a little more juice, you can start to straighten your arms. Squeeze your fists a little tighter. This intensity is up to you. Keep breathing. Now from here, one at a time, back to flat hands. Whew. Good. Fingers point toward you. One more thing, then we're done with the wrists. Soften your elbows, start to sink your hips toward your heels. Keep the heels of the hands pressing, a big forearm stretch. When it gets to be a little much, lift the backs of, or the palms of the hands up and maybe sink a little further. Breathe. Take one more breath in. Use your breath out to come up and then back into fours. Now from here, tuck the toes, arch the back. Keep the back arched, keep the toes tucked, pick up the knees, take down dog. Just a transition down dog to pedal, to shift, to move. Let the head go. Feel what's hanging out in the calves, maybe the hamstrings. Press the chest toward the thigh bones. Take one more breath in. Feel like you're lifting out of the wrists. And then as you exhale, put the knees back down on the floor, back into your fours. Now you've got your blanket nearby. If you have a bolster or a cushion, keep that. You may need that here too. We're going to thread the needle. So the left hand is going to reach down or stay down under the shoulder. The right arm is going to reach. As you breathe in, lift your chest, lift your right arm to open the chest. As you breathe out, hook your right arm under. Land your shoulder, land the side of the head. Now, if you need a blanket or some support under that right side to bring the floor a little closer to you, do that. Left hand can stay in front of your face. Left arm can reach up and grab your right hip to open the top of this shoulder, or your arm can reach out in front of you. You decide. Maybe you take your left hand to your right arm to pull that right arm a little longer, and then your left hand in front of your face to guide you back onto that right shoulder blade, and then you can press the back of your right hand down even more. Breathe. Once we arrive in these postures, slow the breath back down. Back to that 4 or 5 second inhale, the pause, the exhale of the same length. Maybe you pause with the exhale out, suspending the breath for just a moment before you draw the next breath back in. Three more breaths. On your next inhale, put that left hand down in front of your face, press down to pull the right arm out. Lean onto your left side, stretch the right arm up, and then right arm over the ear. Inhale, move the right arm back, open the chest, and then as you exhale, put the right hand down. Now, if you needed that support under your right side, move it over to the left. You may or may not need it. Sides are often a little different. So the hands under the shoulders, again, flatten out the back, pull the navel in. Right hand is going to stay, left arm is going to reach. On an inhale, open the chest. As you exhale, hook under, land the shoulder, the side of the head. You can take those adjustments, making the left arm a little longer by way of the right hand. Right hand in front of the face, maybe over the ear, maybe around to your left hip. Wherever you are, settle in here and breathe. Maybe pressing the back of your left hand down. Relax the face. Take 3 more breaths. Watch the breath traveling all the way to the bases of the lungs, and then watch it all the way out. As you inhale, press into your right hand. As you exhale, pull that left arm out. Inhale, reach the left arm over the ear. Exhale to reach it back. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale to put it down. Back into your tabletop. Tuck the toes, arch the back. Downward facing dog, just transitioning. A little movement in between static holds. Pedal, shift. Maybe you bring the feet together. Take a more traditional down dog in stillness. Shake out the head. And on an inhale, lift your heels. On an exhale, bend your knees and then touch them to the mat. Grab your blocks again. We're coming back into your supported hero. So, blocks the long way to support both sitting bones. Now grab your strap as well. So we're going to take cow face arms now. Moving through the animal kingdom. So start with your right hand, the strap in your right hand, and then the elbow bends, the hand goes behind you. Whew. And then you're going to reach back with the left hand from underneath. Now, if you get the link up with your fingers and don't need the strap, you don't need it. You can grab your shirt, you can use a sock, whatever. But that's what you're going for, is that link up behind you. So the right hand is on top, left hand is on the bottom. Lift your right elbow high, back of your head touches that right forearm. Front ribs pull in. Feel the front of the body get longer as you inhale. As you exhale, gently contract the core. Just watching the breath. Keeping the chin tucked slightly so the back of the neck is long. gazing down toward the tip of your nose, or you can always close the eyes and tap in a little more acutely to the sensation as it's happening in the body. Stay present. Stay with the breath. Just observing the fluctuations. If you get wrapped up in one of those fluctuations, bring yourself back one breath at a time. It's a practice. It takes some cultivating. And you cultivate every time you show up. Every time you get on your mat, set your intention, you move, you breathe. Start to groove that record. The grooves get a little deeper, easier to fall into the next time. Take 3 more breaths here. Now inhale, lift the chest, lift your right elbow more. As you exhale, release that. Shake out the arms, do some shrugs, do any movements that you feel like you need to bring some sensation back if you have tingling happening anywhere. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side with the left hand between the shoulders. Right hand is going to go behind you, looking for that link up. And just because you got the link up on one side, no prob, does not mean that it's going to happen on the other, just like we talked about in I think it was eagle, one of the asymmetrical poses. Sides are always different, lefts and rights. Not only are they hard to tell apart, we hold things differently on the different sides of the body, depending on the day, depending on what we eat, who we talk to, global pandemics, all of that stuff. The body knows, the body keeps track of all of it. And sometimes we don't catch up with what the body's holding on to until we're still. So stay present, feel what's happening in your body, give yourself some grace. Sometimes emotional releases in yin practice are big. Just keep breathing, keep witnessing. That's the practice. Three more breaths. Last breath in, fill up, make it big. Use your exhale to let it go. Whew. Now, done with the strap for now. Give your arms a shake. Fingers wiggle, whatever you need. Now come off of your blocks onto your seat. And now we have a couple options. Pigeon is what we're taking next for the hips. So if you want, you can take down dog, and then your right knee will move behind your right wrist for a forward-facing pigeon. Traditional kind of garden variety pigeon. However, if there's any sharp shooting pains in your right knee when you come forward into this pose, you're going to take pigeon on your back, which is what I will demonstrate. So, on your back, reclined, hug your right knee in. Reclined pigeon, your foot goes into the arch, and then your knee goes into your your foot goes into your antecubital space, and then your knee goes into your other arch. Nope, it's your other antecubital space. Interlace your fingers and outside of your shin. Flex your right foot so you're not overstretching these ligaments on the outside of your ankles. And now you can hold here. Maybe it's a little more accessible if you lift your head and shoulders, keeping this left leg long. If neither one of those options sound like anything you're interested in, most accessible, probably should have started here. Bend your left knee, put your ankle on your knee, and then you reach through, like so. You can extend the left leg long. You can keep the knee bent. You can hold on in front of the shin. Whichever version you're in, it's likely that you're feeling some sensation in that right hip, so keep breathing there. Just watching the breath. Identify the spot in your body where you feel this happening the most. Maybe it's your right hip, maybe it's your left shoulder, or your left ankle, wherever. It's your body, you know what's happening in there. Send your attention directly to that spot. Energy goes where we pay attention, right? So pay attention to where you feel it. Make something happen there. Breathe there. Create space. Soften. Take 3 more breaths directly into the place where you feel it the most. Last breath, all the way in, all the way out. If you're in a forward pigeon on your front, switch it to the other side. You can take down dog, you can flip your dog if you know the way, or you just switch sides. Uneventful. Left ankle will come up on the right knee if you're with me in the modified version. You can take the more advanced version, putting the sole of the foot in your antecubital space in the right arm, and then your knee goes into the ditch on your left arm. Going for a link up outside of your left shin, as long as you can keep the foot flexed. Don't let this ankle sickle, then you overstretch all of these ligaments. Not so good long term. So maybe you take the interlace in front, behind, keep the feet flexed, draw them close, and then breathe. Stay present. Keep witnessing. Three more breaths here, all the way in, all the way out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last breath in. Stay in pigeon to breathe it out. And then release that, let it go. If you took forward pigeon, you'll come all the way onto your back. We'll meet on your back. And for this last one, well, one of the last ones, cat pulling its tail, one of my favorite poses in all of the yoga practice, because of its name, obviously. So you're gonna, if you have stuff at home, great. A bolster will go on the right side of your mat. And you may need a strap here. You may need a couple straps. Just do your best. Always. So, soles of the feet are down, just like you're going to take bridge pose, but you're not going to take bridge pose. You're going to hook your right toes behind your left heel and let your right leg fall down to the floor. Left hand takes your right foot. Now your left knee, you can take your right hand, you're going to cross the body. And you can either let your leg just drop onto the floor, or sometimes it's a little nicer on your back to bring that leg a little higher. So that's why the bolster's there. So you can keep hanging on to your right leg. Nope, it's your left leg with your right hand. Hold on to your foot and then draw your left shoulder to the floor. Turn your chin to the left. Now your strap is to strap in this left leg if you wanted to. I'll show you how that looks. Kind of takes some setting up, but once you get there, it's pretty sweet. So then you can kind of keep your knee soft, don't ever lock your joints. And then you can draw that foot toward your right shoulder. Let your left shoulder be heavy, like I started into earlier, the chin toward the left. And then you breathe. I'm assuming that your right foot that you're holding with your left fingers is your tail. But it could be this left leg too. Open for interpretation. Keep breathing. Each exhale, you soften, you relax. Now that you're reclined and we're in a twist, make your exhales a little longer. That will help to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system to activate, which is the rest and digest piece of the nervous system to help you balance. Likely you're overstressed, especially on March 31st in 2020 in the midst of a global pandemic. Probably lots of chaos, little anxiety. So use this practice to calm. Take 3 more breaths. Now to come out of this systematically, the chin will move toward the ceiling, toward the sky. You'll let your right foot go, let your right leg go long. If your left leg is extended, bend it. Use your left hand to help pull that leg back up so nothing strains, nothing pulls. Set your stuff aside and just come onto your back. Soles of the feet to the edges, let the knees knock in. Right hand to the belly, left hand to the heart. Elbows are heavy. Close your eyes and breathe. Feel your breath. Feel your heartbeat. Gratitude for both of those things that are happening right now in this moment. You're alive. Now we get ready for the second side, cat pulling its tail. If you used props, bolster, strap on the other side, use it on this side too, or just have it ready at least. So you'll move your bolster over. If you were here, I would of course do this for you. And then your strap if you need it. So set up first, feet are where you left them, in front of your hips. Left foot hooks behind, toes hook behind your right heel. Let your left knee drop down to the mat. Now you can bring your bolster up if you need it. If you don't need it, don't want it, don't have to have it. You can always hold on to this knee coming up onto your left hip, and then it's more of a twist. If you move that knee down, it's more work to bring your right shoulder down, a little deeper work in the back. You can extend, you can take your strap, make sure your right hand takes your left toes, and then turn your chin to the right. Soften your right knee, soften your face, lengthen your exhales. Take 3 more rounds all the way in. Right shoulder heavier, relax more as you breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last breath in. All the way out. And then systematically, chin over the chest. Let your left toes go, so left leg can extend. If your right knee is straight, bend it, and then you can reach over with your right hand, take that shin back across, hug it in, and then pick up your left knee, right knee and left knee together into the chest. Give it a squeeze, give both of them a squeeze. Apanasana, right hand to the right knee, left hand to the left knee. Take some revolutions with the knees toward the ceiling, toward the sky. Feeling space in the sacrum, massaging the back. Go both directions with your circles if you want to be fancy and do moving away from each other circles. I'm sure there's a word for it. Do that, go both ways. And now put your feet down just in front of your hips. Block is helpful for this next pose if you want it. You don't have to use it, you can do it without. Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. So feet are just in front of the hips if you're taking the block version. If you're taking the unsupported version, here you go, this is it. If you're at home and you want to go to a real wall, put your heels on the wall, the baseboard is near your sitting bones, do that. You can do it in the middle of the room also. So if you're gonna take the block version, the side with the most surface area, press your feet down, lift your hips up, put the block under mostly sacrum, arms down by your sides, and then one leg at a time, extend the legs. Let your shoulders be heavy, tuck the chin to feel all of that length through the whole spine. Maybe you close your eyes and breathe. Now, we're going to be here for a little while longer. Maybe you start to point and flex, kind of pedaling the feet. Maybe you roll the ankles, go both directions, spread the toes. As much space as you can make in the bones and the joints of the feet. And then let the legs relax again. This is a good posture to take lots of times, like after you exercise, running, walking, biking. Do this for a little while when you get home. Or if you can't fall asleep at night, flip around, headboard, legs up the headboard. A nice alternative to standing on your head or standing on your chin or some other thing that may not be accessible in your body or appropriate right now. So hang out here. When you're over this, you can stay here for as long as you like. Or when you're ready, if you're with me, bend your knees, put your feet on the mat, and then really feel your feet before you do anything else. So tap them a little bit, just some sensation returns. Feel the little toes, the bigger toes, the inner, the outer heel. Press into the whole surface area of both feet to lift your hips off of that block. Slide the block out, and then lower tailbone first, rest of the spine next. From here, move the feet as wide as the mat. You can bring the arms to a T or to cactus and then drop the knees side to side, windshield wiper style. Stretching the front of the hip, the front of the other hip. And then bringing the knees together, the feet are at the edges of the mat, knees knock in, right hand to the abdomen, left hand to the upper chest, the elbows are heavy, close the eyes, and feel. From this place of paying attention to sensation, notice if there's anything left in your body, any poses or stretches you need. If it's time for Shavasana, that's what I will call Shavasana, legs long, arms long by your sides, palms face up, scooch the shoulders underneath to give the heart space, a little more lift, and then let everything soften. Close the eyes or turn your gaze down. Let the bones, the muscles be heavy. Let go of the breath. Let go of anything at all that you're holding on to. Now, if you have the time, stay for as long as you like. If you're on a schedule, if you're with me, start to move the fingers, move the feet, deepening the breath as you move. Maybe a long stretch to reach everything overhead, opening up with a big inhale. And then exhale to hug the knees in, empty the lungs, squeeze. Roll onto your left side into a fetal position. Just pause there. You can use your left arm to support you. Right hand in front of the heart. Pausing here to think about what you're grateful for. Press into your right hand, coming back into your seat. Ooh, found my microphone. Hands at the heart, chin to the chest. Maybe the eyes close. Anjali Mudra. Gratitude for this time, for the practice, for the ancient wisdom, and all of the things that keep us connected. Namaste. Thanks, guys.